All right, welcome everybody. This is my episode 2 on the podcast, and I have my good friend here, Michael.
Yo.
Michael Utai, eh?
Yo,
Utai?
that's the one.
Yeah, aka Fidatrix. Yeah, welcome,
Yo,
man.
thank you, Toko.
All good. Just a bit of a background about Michael. Me and him, we go way back. For myself, when I first started filming, I'd say 2019, when I started filming back then. And this is properly, because in 2018, I was filming but on my phone.
Right.
So 2019, when I was filming properly, I connected with you. I can't remember exactly how, but I think the first thing that got me was your videos, your wedding videos.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was on Facebook. Were you posting it to Facebook a couple of years ago?
Heaps. Heaps on Facebook.
Yeah. So I think that was it for me. I watched a couple, and then I watched more.
Right.
And then I think you also posted to YouTube.
Yeah.
You had a
Facebook,
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
And I think that's where it went. Like I kind of just followed from there just to watch more and more and more.
True.
And then I'm pretty sure from there it just led to me messaging you.
Right. Yeah, I remember when you messaged me.
Meet up, or I don't know, I can't remember exactly how it went, but I'm pretty sure it would have went something along the lines like that. I love your work, and if we can meet up.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I remember.
Yeah. And
that was
then,
good. Yeah.
I came to your house, I think.
Yeah, no, it was good. Just talking cameras and that, and talking business.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. I still remember, bro.
Man. And I remember when I pulled up to your house, I think the first thing, when I first met you, the first thing I noticed was just like how kind you were and how how welcoming you were to me. Like from somebody who just messages, randomly on social media, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for you to be inviting and like, yeah, nice bro, come over, we can chat.
Yeah.
Like that's a big step to go from talking on social media to meeting somebody face to face. Or at least it was for me.
Yeah.
But I came into your house. I came straight from, a message from social media straight to your house, met you at your house, and then you just welcomed me in, and we went straight to the room. And we were just talking from there. We were talking from there. So that's what I remember.
Man.
It was such a humble experience for me. But yeah, now now we're here. We're on the podcast now.
Yeah,
so thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and jump on.
Of course. Anytime to go.
But I think we'll just kick things off with a bit of a backstory about yourself, if that's okay. If you just want to share briefly on how you started. How did you start as a creative, or when did you realize this this creative side to you?
Man, it goes way back. It starts from my family, because my whole family we're all creatives. Especially in music. Not so much filming at the start, but it all started from my oldest brother, Fraser. But you know him as Sketch. Yeah, Sketch. He started everything. In music and in video. So I know back in the day, like watching Dragon Ball Z growing up. So what he would do, like back then, he would download like Dragon Ball Z clips, and he would edit them and like chuck another song, on top of like Dragon Ball Z clips. And then that's what started off the editing for me. I was like, oh bro, what is this? And then I'll jump Windows Movie Maker. You ever? If you don't know Windows Movie Maker, bro. But yeah, like I was editing on it. Way back. Like back when we were in school. And so I'd be like trying to like look at what he's doing, and then I'll just be like trying to have a turn and stuff. So that's what started off editing. In terms of like cameras and that, my cousin Ellen, she had a little digital Canon camera. And one time Fraser Sketch, he had a school assessment doing he had to create a TV ad for school, one of his school assignments, and then he used my cousin's camera, you know, and he made him, and I seen him do the whole process. I was just buzzing out. I was like, man, I want to turn on the camera. So every time I got a chance to like go over to my cousin's house, I'd like play with her camera, like, and I'd just record anything, like memories around the house and stuff. And then so that's what started, like, you know, with cameras and that. I think do you know Question Moe Mustafa? He's a filmmaker in Sydney.
Moe?
Yeah, so you know Lazy J in that from X Factor.
X Factor, yes.
So Lazy J, big guy. They had a videographer doing like clips for them back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
His name is Moe.
Yeah, right.
And like his brand was YouTube channel was called Questions.
Questions.
Yeah.
Okay, I think so.
Yeah, and
was it a question mark? Was that the logo?
Yeah, it was a question mark. But bro, like he was the very first that I seen like doing videos here in Australia, with a DSLR camera.
Yeah.
And
what year are we talking now?
Bro,
what year is this?
This is 2009.
Whoa.
Bro, bro.
And this and like
2010. Yeah.
So this is for the question guy, eh? This is that year?
Yeah.
And so if we just go back to your brother, what year was that when he was doing it on the Windows Media Player?
Oh, 2000 and 2009 is when I graduated. 2007.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's when we were playing on Windows Movie Maker and stuff. Bro, man, what old ass is he? Bro, nah, but yeah. So we were editing for ages, and we started playing around with cameras and stuff. Yeah, around 2007, 2008. But 2010 is when that Question dude came out. You know, and he came out with his content doing videos for Lazy J and that.
Yeah,
and we're all buzzing out at the video quality. We're like, what camera is this, bro? You know, Then that's what made us start researching and stuff. And then 2011, I think, me and my brothers, we went on X Factor as well.
Yeah. I remember that.
We met Lazy J and Big Guy. Like, man, it was mad.
What a highlight! What a moment!
Yeah, 100%. But it was around that time, and you know, like, I think I was the only one who really took interest in the video making. My brothers, like my other brothers, did too. Since my oldest brother started it off for us. But I was the main one who was like really just like, you know, doing research on the cameras and so when I was doing that, I was hoping to try and do the videos and stuff for my brothers when they do their music and stuff. So I was just like, oh, hey, like whatever, like music video you need, you know, I'll do. So that's when it started off. That was like, so we started off just mainly doing music videos, and then like.
Do you remember what camera you had back then?
Canon 60D, bro.
Canon 60D?
Yeah, do you ever...
Is that DSLR? Or
DSLR.
Still DSLR,
DSLR. There was, like... Canon 60D was the first model we got, but it was Canon 50D, the one that I was looking at, like I was...
Yeah.
But, Canon 60D was the first one we got.
What was the cost of that? Like, just roughly, if you can remember.
Man... I think it was definitely over the grand mark, like it was 1,000 something.
Yeah.
But bro, you know, like we saved hard for that, bro. We were so excited when we got it.
Oh.
Man, that's a good question. I don't remember the exact price. But like
saved harder for it, eh?
Yeah.
These are good memories.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah.
We got the Canon 60D, and then you know the glide cam.
Yeah, was that like a stabilizer?
Yeah, stabilizer.
Yeah, I know that.
No, there was no electronic stabilizer we do now, Ronin.
That's just stuff. It's a straight thing.
And it's sort of like a counterweight where you, like, depending on how heavy your camera is, then you chuck on certain weights to try and balance out.
Yeah, on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
So you just got one handle?
Yeah, one handle, and like the handle sort of like. Yeah, bro.
Just look it up. Look it up.
Yeah, look it up, Ronin. But I feel like no one's on it these days, except for like the real, you know, professional shoots where they have it. You know, like in like rugby games where you have they actually have a glide cam.
Yeah,
like it's like mounted to like a chest thing, that, like a whole arm that they have connected to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they would like, some of them have the, what do you call the the gliding thing that
that they sit on, or
you stand on.
oh, and it moves.
Yeah, on wheels.
Like wheels.
What do you call that thing?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't even know what you call it.
I have no idea.
That's how you know we're old, bro. Bro. But like,
wow.
on, like, you see that on the side of the field, like, you know, that's how you know me with cameras. I'm looking, I'm not even watching rugby to watch rugby. I'm watching the cameraman on the side, bro, with the cameras.
We're all like that, right? We're all like that. It doesn't matter anywhere we go. As soon as we see a camera, all of us.
Yeah, straight up, man.
Oh.
But
so they have that vest attaches to the.
Yeah, it has an arm. The vest is connected to an arm that attaches to the glide cam. And like obviously with the big production cameras, like, man, it's real heavy.
Yeah.
And then they have like real heavy weights on the bottom.
Right. So when you move with that, like, do you just hold it like this?
Yeah.
That glide cam, and it just stabilize. Like,
stabilize. You sort of lean all your weight onto like the handle, because the handle is like, it's weird, like it goes around like
like it rotates a little bit.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And
how's your wrist then? Like, does it get sore?
Yeah, it's sore.
I'm just putting the pieces together, because I'm just like, hey, that's a lot of work on your arm.
Yeah, it is. And like, bro, I like, man, when I'd shoot weddings with it. You know, like obviously the first few weddings I'd shoot with it, and like I'd learn to, like, every time I'd, like, you know, have to record a shot, and then I'd get my shot with the, like, you know, leaning on the arm.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is, like, when I finish with the shot, I turn it off, and then I'll lean on my other arm to sort of try and balance it out. Yeah, give it a rest, bro.
Yeah, shucks.
Yeah, bro. Glide cam, bro.
Wow.
Far out.
That's some history.
Yeah. These guys are blessed. You have like the Ronin, because one thing like, you had to master, like, the glide cam was something you had to really practice to like, to have your shots like leveled. Because if you didn't practice, like, I remember the first few shots, like playing with the glide cam, like, it would always be like off center, and when I go back to edit, and I'm just like, bro, I don't like it. And so I'd keep practicing so that it gets like real straight, you know. But you know how, like, the Ronin now, bro, you don't have any effort, bro. You just go like this, and everything stays like that, bro. It's just like that.
So you're talking like it shifts.
Yeah, it's smooth, but because you know how all the shots you want it to be sort of leveled.
Yeah. Oh,
and so, like, if say for example you're shooting somebody who's performing and you're walking backwards and you think you're straight, but then you come back,
could be on a slant.
and it'll be like this, like, throughout the shot. It's like, but it was something you had to practice. I got pretty good at it. Yeah.
How long did you, like, how many years are we talking about that you used that glide cam for?
Man, it was like at least 5 years.
Oh, man.
4 or 5 years, yeah. But I was, man, when the Ronin M came out, do you remember that?
What does that look like?
The two-handle?
The square?
Yeah.
Like...
and the stabilizer that has the two arms like this.
Yeah.
Ronin M, when that came out, man, I was I was so happy. Like, I got it. I was shooting that off at weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
Then I was buzzing out even more when the Ronin S came out, just one handle, just like the glide cam. I was like, oh, mate.
Man, so we're talking of, we're talking about you, someone that has seen the growth over the years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you time-stamped everything.
Yeah.
Glide cam, Ronin M.
Ronin S.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, you're been through it all.
100, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then what? And then so it started off like I was just doing music videos and stuff with my brothers, and then, like, you know, like, random messages on Facebook. Oh, do you do weddings?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I'll give it a shot, you know. Then that's where it all started. I was lucky because no one was doing weddings. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously now you have a lot of, like, filmmakers and stuff coming out, learning the craft and that, but man, no one was doing weddings. And, like, I was lucky
because...
What an
opportunity.
Yeah, because just, like, it was so easy to blow up for me, you know. I'll shoot one wedding, then I'll get heaps of people like, do my wedding, and I was just like, and you could imagine
open market, man.
Yeah, someone like us like not aware of like the business world. You know, a business, like knowing how to run a business is a whole game in and of itself. You know, and I just take it as it comes. Like it's like, oh, can you do my wedding? Oh, how much? Oh, $300. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Film 12 hours, $300. Oh my, are you sure? Right. And then, you know, don't forget the editing that comes afterwards, bro. It takes 2 weeks for me back then, bro. With my slow ass computer back then. Oh, bro. But yeah, like, but it was a good experience though. Like I wouldn't change it for nothing, bro. Like I learned so many things about business, filmmaking and stuff, just like how you said, like, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much how it started, bro. I feel like I've done like over 100 weddings.
Yeah,
that's how many weddings, bro. You know, like I feel like I've done over 100 weddings.
For sure. Man, what a time. Like what a time for you. For someone that, let's go back to that thing that you're saying about how someone messaged you and asked if you film weddings. Did you, before that, did you have an idea that was something you could potentially film, was weddings? Or was it wasn't until you got that question from that person and then you were like, oh, snap,
Straight, no idea. Because me and my family, like I said, I come from like a musical family and we had our own goals already that we want to be, like we want to grow in the music. And so that was my only plan in my mind. I was like, oh, I'll help film just to help support the music dream, you know? Like, but I didn't know that people were going to, like, that was a potential business that I could do.
True.
But like, you know, but I'm so grateful for it though, because it taught me a lot about filming, you know, it taught me a lot about the whole craft of it. And then it made the videos better in our music videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro.
Holy man. So that person might have messaged you because of, like, what clips were you pushing out at that time? Were you pushing out music clips at that time? Is that why maybe triggered the question for them?
It definitely was. Like I was, obviously besides Moe, the questions, but besides those guys putting out videos, we were the only ones. Like I can't think of anyone else in Australia.
So Moe is from New South?
New South Wales. From Sydney.
True.
Yeah.
So you guys are from here then?
Yeah, and there was no one else here. Yeah. You know, but yeah, like, bro, like I just took it as it came. Like, you know, people would ask, but especially when I did the first wedding, I do the first wedding, then boom, you know, like, do my wedding, and I was just like, okay.
Man,
$300, $500,
yeah,
up to like $1,200, $1,500, like. And I think the very last wedding that, like, this is years back now. Like I've stopped weddings for ages, but the last price that I remember giving out was 4K, 4,000. You know,
far out.
Yeah,
that's. I love how you're talking about that and just saying like how you're learning as you're going. I think a lot of people are going through that right now too.
True.
You know, I think what you're going through back then is still something that people are going through now, especially the new ones that are 100%. Coming into the game. Because it's like what you said, like the business side of things, it's a whole new ball game, right? It's good to have a skill set, but if you don't know how to value yourself on that skill set, then that can be a massive hurdle to get over for 100%. People, you know.
100%.
But I think far out, man. We're just gonna take a couple of steps back, if that's alright, because there was like a lot of good information you were bringing up there. Yeah. So let's go back to the cameras. So you're talking about the DSLR. This is before mirrorless cameras, right?
Way before mirrorless cameras. Yeah.
So I remember when I first started, like around 2019. Right. In 2018, I was using my phone back then. I knew nothing about cameras at that time, at that year. It wasn't until my wife encouraged me to film. Because my route was a bit different. I was shooting on my phone using a gimbal.
Yeah.
And I was going and filming my wife at F45, doing the fitness stuff, right?
Nice.
And from my experience, when you go into a studio like F45 or any fitness studio, you have a lot of people that come in there, right? But those people some of them can be business owners. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole stretch of people that come there that you I don't even know like who's who, right? You just go in there, you do your thing, you go film, you edit it. Like I was editing it on my phone, then my wife will push it out, and then it just started traction from there for me. And it wasn't until like my wife came back, she's like, oh, you should give this a go, you know. And I was so nervous. I was so nervous back then when she told me to give the videography game a go, because at that time I was already watching other people's videos, and so I automatically put a bar over myself. Like I limited myself, you know. And I remember telling her like, no way, like I can't go. How am I gonna push out videos? Like there's some mean people, really talented people pushing out videos. At that time I was already watching your videos too. But little did I know is that I didn't know I was gonna get serious about it. Like this was just an early conversation with my wife. So she's like, oh, you know, it won't hurt if you just buy a camera, buy a lens and give it a go. And let's just say if it doesn't work out, at least I can still shoot our family. You know, I didn't think of it like that, but she just said to me, if I give it a go and if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Just go back to my original purpose. My original reason was like I wanted to film my kids and keep those videos so when they grow up, I can play it back, watch it back. You know. But when she gave me that reason, I thought, oh, dude, she's right. Like, you know, it doesn't hurt, right? But my mentality at that time was like, if I go into anything, like anything I do, and this goes way back to my upbringing. I was raised in a way like if I give anything a go, I gotta give it my best, right? Because let's just say if it didn't work out, I have no regrets because I did everything I possibly could while I was in there, right? So she gave me the green light. I was like, okay, I'll look into cameras. And then I remember I was like looking up on I don't know, I feel I was just Googling it. I didn't know nothing about cameras, I was just Googling it and I was just like watching some YouTube reviews on Canon, some on Sony. And then I just thought to myself at that time, I was like, Sony looks good. Like that was me. Because I was just like, I like the fact that if I go shoot in the Arvo to the evening, I can still get good shots. That was me anyways. Little did I know was that was called low light. I didn't know. I just read it and I was just like, this looks good. Like, you know, I'll go jump into that. I think there was still, and I'm talking about 2018, like towards the end of 2018, early 2019. I think there was still some DSLRs, cameras then. Yeah, so your DSLR when you bought it, what year was that?
2010. 2010. Yeah. 2010.
Man, so maybe mirrorless cameras came in around like, do you know, like maybe 2017 would it? Or
not long before you started. Not long before you started. 2016.
Because I got confused on that when I was watching it on YouTube. I saw some reviews on DSLR cameras and I was like, I didn't know the difference. I was like, what's mirrorless? What's DSLR? Like, you know? So I didn't really focus on that piece of information. I just focused on the fact that Sony's like can shoot in this time of the day and it'll still look good quality. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna risk it and I'll jump and buy this. And I bought me a Sony A6500.
Right, okay.
APS-C, so like a small camera. But I thought to myself, at that time, that one was highly recommended. Like I could see a lot of good reviews on it, you know. So yeah, I jumped on that one. There was a reason why as well. I think it was I think that camera. Did you have that camera? Did you ever own a 6500?
No, we owned a 6300.
6300.
Not a 6500. Yeah.
Did the 63? Did it have like stabilization in the camera? Do you know?
Man, I can't even remember, bro.
Yeah. I'm just wondering.
I don't think so. I would have remembered if it had stabilization.
Because I think that's what the 6500 had. I think it was like the in-camera stabilization.
Wow. Yeah.
But again, like I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I think that was the one that was the one thing besides the low light information. That was the other thing that made me, want to go buy it, because it made sense when I doesn't matter, like, you know, if I'm not moving or if I'm shaking on my gimbal, I still got a shot at getting it stabilized.
True.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that was back then. So I bought that one in 2019. When you got your DSLR, that was Canon, right?
Yeah.
That you said?
Canon 60D.
When did you transition to mirrorless? But when did you get that Sony?
It was during the times when I was filming weddings. So it would have been...
Yeah.
It would have been 20... I have to like stop and think for a bit.
So when you bought that Sony, did you already have the Canon with you? Like, did you still have that camera?
We still had the camera.
So you were looking for a second camera?
I even switched to Nikon for a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The only reason why I switched to Nikon because it had 1080 60 frames.
1080 60 frames. Oh, wow. So your one, so that Canon was only shooting, 25 frames?
Yeah, 25 frames, 1080p.
Yeah.
But if I wanted the slow motion shots, it dropped down to 720.
720. Yeah, true.
Yeah, bro. Like,
wow.
How old school is that?
Yeah.
So 1080p 60 frames. But like, I got the 1080 60. I got the Nikon only because I wanted 1080 60 frames.
Yeah.
But then, it was Canon. Then Nikon just for a little bit, and then when Sony came in, the first Sony camera I actually got was the A7S. A7S, year one.
The first one. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, A7S. Yeah, A7S1. Yeah, and then I was shooting on that, but even that didn't even do like 4K 60 that's still 1080 60 frames.
Yeah, so we're talking. So in that time frame we were talking about here, the highest quality was 1080,
Yeah.
At this time frame,
at this
right?
time, yeah.
Yeah. What was that DSLR Canon that you got? Was that APS-C or was that full frame?
APS-C, yeah.
Oh, okay. Did they have full frames at that time? Or?
Yeah, there was full frame, but I was obviously the ones I couldn't afford. I was just like, I'll just go to the cheap camera.
Yeah.
But that Canon 60D was 1080 25 frames, and then 720 60 or 50 frames. You know.
Yeah. But that was a game changer, for you when you saw that 60 frames at 1080. That was a game changer. So Nikon released it first.
I think so.
Or in your time block, right?
Yeah.
Like for when you were looking for cameras.
Yeah, when I was looking for cameras, like I was trying to look for the next. Maybe Canon did at the same time, but their model was a lot more expensive. That shot in 1080 60 frames. But when I saw that Nikon, had a model that was a lot more affordable, I was just like, I'll just get that one.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man, you know how it is back. Like, not even back then, even now, if you want to stay up to date with the high quality stuff, you gotta spend that money.
You gotta spend. Yeah, big time.
But it's the sacrifices you have to make. Sacrifices you have to make, man. If you, man, that's cool how you share your story about like when you first started, man. Big ups to your wife too for like encouraging you to do. I mean, like if I'm to think about like, and I'm just sharing this just because like for anybody else that might wanna jump in the film game. Yeah. Like for me personally, like when I hear you share about your experience of like, why should I jump in? Like, man, there's already people out there like this, like so good and stuff.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, like the thing that helped me, not even because I could have easily looked at it that way, but because like my mind was just like, I just love the look of cinematic things.
Yeah.
I just love I love to try and recreate things that look like a movie. And because when I just stuck to that passion and I didn't think about anybody else, I just jumped in. I was like, Solid, put the camera here. Oh, Solid, let's leave the window open there. And then you just start building up your stuff, and like without even knowing, bro, you'll get better.
Yeah.
You know, like, and this is just like advice for anybody else, like out there, like if you have a drive or like a thing, like I do like the idea of putting my imagination on the screen. Just do it. You know? Like, bro, one thing these guys are so blessed with these days, and like I would even say yourself.
Yeah.
But you know how you say that when you're looking for cameras, you went on YouTube and you look at there's reviews and stuff out.
Yeah.
Bro, back in my days, bro, no reviews, bro. Yeah, like very limited, like all the stuff, bro. Like YouTube now, you can look at like people like straight away when a new model comes out, someone does a review of it, you know. But me back then, bro, like I had to like be on YouTube for hours just to try and like I look for just like 60D low light test or something like that. You know,
people just like they weren't really reviewing like how they do like now.
It wasn't big. Like it wasn't big back then. You know, like,
but YouTube was around still, eh?
Yeah. YouTube was around, but like it's just like nobody. There was no content of anyone teaching how to. That there was like very, very limited people doing reviews on like this camera, but it's just like it says Canon 60D test, and then it just shows one shot, and then and then finish, bro. Just like I'm like, any more information? You know, just like any cost involved, bro. I was like, come on, man. So we were working with real limited stuff back then, but anyone today that wants to get into filmmaking, bro, they got everything.
Access to information is massive.
100%, bro. Yeah. Like it's straight up. I feel like it's a good industry to get into because, bro, it's the future. You know, videos, like the online world. 100%, bro.
But take this back to way back to your time, man. Yeah. Holy, that's next level, eh? Because you're right, like social media right now, for me, I know like with certain people I follow on Instagram, right, that are filmmakers, creatives as well. Yeah, you're right, like as soon as they put it out there, they'll advertise like, say Sony's gonna drop something new or DJI, right? They'll tell you the date that they're gonna drop it. They already have these other creatives already got their video clip ready. So as soon as it hits, midnight, drop, and we can watch the whole thing about that camera, that lens, that mic, whatever it is, and know all this information way beforehand before we even purchase, right?
100%.
So you're right. You must have been digging, eh? Like
bro,
and then if you don't
like bro.
So if you can't find it, then you'll just straight test and figure it out yourself.
Just order it in and like see if it looks good. If not, then obviously you could send it back. But bro,
man, when
challenges back then.
Far out, man. I just want to know, like back then when you were buying your gear, who were you buying it like from? Was there a particular store?
Man, straight eBay.
eBay?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Because like even like normal video stores like JB Hi-Fi and all that.
Did you direct all of them? Like there's heaps of camera shops now.
They didn't have it back then. Like normal man, not that I remember. But bro, like, cause I would have easily just walked into JB Hi-Fi, Office Works, or whatever other.
Yeah, because you're right. JB Hi-Fi, they have cameras now. They have
cameras now. Yeah,
but back then,
nah. Yeah, like obviously, like the very early years, like 2008, 2010, like around then. But then I do remember the time when they started putting them back, and I'd walk in the store and I'm just like, since when? And I was like, bro, and that, like I remember one time going in, and then I was able to just take my camera body in, and I was like, can we just test the lenses? And so they were just like, and so I'd go in there, just shoot inside the store just to like test different lenses. I was like, But bro, man, for the longest time, I had to just order online. Yeah. Even the glide cam I remember ordering online.
And when you order it, are these coming like within Australia, like interstate or overseas?
Straight China, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. I'm pretty sure, but straight from China, bro.
So you'll be waiting like a month or something, or
Yeah, I remember I have to wait like a bit, like maybe 2 weeks the most.
Right. Because see, now we can get next day, right?
Nah, man, not like that, bro. Back then, bro, had to just twiddle your thumbs and just wait for it to come in, bro. Like,
holy,
bro. That's crazy just to think about it now. The how it's all changed now. It's good.
Yeah, but it's good. It's really good hearing it from you too. Because I came in at my time.
Yeah,
a lot's changed from 2018, 19 to now.
Right.
But more has changed for you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really refreshing for me to hear you like going through all of this stuff. Because it really does open up and show us like how good we have it now. Like we really do have a good
that's so true.
Really, really have
100%.
a good. Man, all right. So we're gonna just run that back for a little bit. Like, so you got to you went Nikon, then you went Sony.
Yeah.
And then you stuck with Sony after that, or did you?
Yeah, stuck with Sony after that.
And by that time, you already had your M, like Ronin M.
Yeah, Ronin M. And then switched over to the Ronin S, and that's what I'm on now. You know, I've got the A7S3 as well.
Oh, nice.
But bro, I want to check this one out too,
Oh
bro.
man,
The A7s, bro. I need to check it out.
See, you're right. Like to this day, that was one of the ones I just reviewed it straight away, and I just saw what it could offer. And it was cheaper.
Right.
So yeah, it was way cheaper than this camera. It made sense to me. I was just like, oh man, same capabilities.
Wait, this is cheaper than that camera?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So when they already dropped this camera, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it was the following year. Don't hold me to it, but it was not long after.
Right.
Then they dropped. That's when they dropped all the AI line. Everything with AI in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then the price was like way cheaper than this. So it was, something like that. Even like changes the whole market, because everyone's just like, oh,
100%.
Well, why did I buy this? But that, you can't tell now, right? Like the way they market things, cameras and gear, like, it gets you so excited, and then you buy it, and then, man, give yourself a month and they drop something even way better, but you just don't know, you know? It's a bit of a risk,
Hard out, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, all right, so we'll go from there. Let's talk about, we'll maybe touch a little bit on the wedding game, if that's okay. Because going back to what I was saying before, when I was watching all your clips, it was so beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful to me. And I was watching, and I'm sure what I was experiencing watching it was the same experiences that other people were going through when you made videos for them. You just watch it and just, I loved it, and then I replied to you, and I think like your couples would have been sending you messages, and from there, because it was so early for you and you're just getting all these jobs coming through, were you shooting them on your own, like the weddings, or did you start to pull in, you know what I mean? Like, pull in help?
That's a good question. Like, I would shoot on my own. I'd occasionally have like my brother, like one of my brothers come in, and then they'll just sort of be like assisting on the day. So this is like the way I would shoot weddings.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I know now when I see like everybody else, like the way they shoot weddings, I know that the way I shoot it is very different from how everyone else. Yeah. So all I do is I just ask the bride and the groom, like, where they're preparing, where each of them are. And so I'll go like for an hour to the groom, hour at the bride, and then I'll go to ceremony, and then I go to the reception. So the first sort of half of the day of the preparation, I'll shoot. So whoever's taking me, my brother or my wife, because my wife started being my supporter.
Nice.
And like so she'll drive me to the groom, and then I'll hop out, and then I'll jump, like I'll go with the Ronin, and it's just the Ronin. That's all I needed. I'll go get highlight shots and stuff, come back, then I'll go to the bride, same deal. And so, like, my wife was like my Uber driver sort of thing. But then we'd go to ceremony, and then what I'll do is, and my wife, she just learned how to set up the stationed camera. Yeah. So she would have the stationed camera like on one side of the aisle, and then I would be with the Ronin running around the whole thing, trying to get like different side of the.
Of the ceremony setup.
Yeah, of the ceremony setup.
Yeah. So this is before people come in. Or is this when you got people?
When people come in. When we would arrive early, and then I would go and get the shots of the setup and stuff. But then when people come in, then I would have my wife have the station camera like set up wherever, and I even taught her what to look out for, how to set it up. Yeah. So she just did it. Yeah. And it's funny, like sometimes like like I taught everything I knew, and then like some weddings I was like, wait, why would you have it here? And then I look in and I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. And I was like, but why would you have it here? And then she's just like, because the people sitting over there, they won't be able to see. I was like, okay. So like, man, I was just nice. Like, I told you what. But like, that was really good to have, like, you know, like my wife support me in that way. But yeah, it'll just be just me and my wife. Like, man, some days it'll just be me, and I'll have the Ronin with the tripod, and I had a quick release plate on the Ronin where I could take it straight off the Ronin, chuck it straight on the tripod. Like if I ever needed that. But because I'd have two cameras, like I'll set up the station camera, boom, record, and then I'll run around with the Ronin, getting the extra shots. And then, like, you know, because I know with the island weddings, they're all very similar in structure. So I'd know when to, like, when I hear like the MC saying something, okay, I need to go back to the station camera to change it or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, that's how it was for me. It was. Wow. I did feel like it was just me, but I did have, like, you know, like my wife, like I said, my wife, and even my brothers, whichever brother would be on the day. Yeah.
So I think it would always be at least two of you, in some cases, but most cases it'll just be you on your own. And how many hours are we talking about, man, when you shoot a wedding, like on average back then for you?
Man, because sometimes I'd go so early in the... This is me not knowing about like you know, to try and figure out what hours I'm doing. You know? I just go off. I was like, oh yeah, you guys get ready at 4 a.m. Oh yeah, all good, bro. You know, but like, you know, one of the big things that I learned, you know, when they said, we're getting ready at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just didn't think to myself, do I need to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning? I'll get there at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're wiping their summers from their eyes, bro. I'm just like, maybe I should come back later, bro. Like, that was one of the big things that I learned. So I was just like, but bro, I start from 4 in the morning up until like 11, 12 at night, bro. Wow. Past the 12-hour mark, up to like 16 hours, and I'm like there the whole day, like.
And that's some of them. We're not talking all of them. This maybe one or two, a few.
Like a lot of them, like in the beginning stages. This is when I didn't think oh man, I'm tired now. I should probably like. But then once I started to learn, actually I don't need to be there. Then I talk with like clients and that. I'd be like, I don't need to be there at this time. Like I just need to come. Like I need like half an hour with the groom, just to get like little shots that you could easily set up. But here I am thinking I have to be there right when they're gonna, like, you know, start getting ready. I'm like, oh, Sully, can I just? But you didn't have to. It was like, oh, Sully, you could just direct it. Like, oh, bro, and I had to learn all of that on my own, bro. You know, so man.
Humble beginnings, man. Humble beginnings, but like I think also it can be a few things, because you maybe at the time you were also excited for them, you know. But then like you said, like when you go shoot it, then you realize, right, like oh, I don't really need to be here. But some people, when you first start off, you just want to be as helpful as you can. You know what I mean? 100. When you first start shooting weddings, you're like, oh, bro, whenever they need me, I'm just gonna go, because you want to what do you call it? You want to like make a good impression.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because I think and I'm going off my experience, word of mouth, when people pass that on to other people, potential, you know, couples, it means a lot. You know, when others, man, you know, Mark shot me, man. He did this. It meant a lot to me. You know, so I'm assuming maybe at that time you wanted to make a good impression on them, because you started to roll. You know, when you get other people inquiring, it just goes and goes and goes. So you're at the same time, while you're learning how to make the timetable work for you. You're also learning about the business. There's a lot of things going on in your head.
So true.
You know what I mean?
So true.
You're especially when you're shooting on your own. You know, when you're there, you're standing there, but you're also thinking of the audio. You're thinking of, like, if you have the lights, like, you know, there's 100. A lot going on for videographers. And I'm not down in the photographers, but more for videographers than there is for photographers, you know?
100%. I think that's another good advice for anybody like wanting to get in. Like, it's like how you present yourself, like when you work with clients, like obviously normal things like being polite. I think I was blessed because, like, bro, it's just my dad raised me that way,
Yeah.
to be polite to people,
For sure.
and like,
Yeah.
and like I think for me the game was to know that, oh, actually I don't have to be there at that time. Like I can give myself a break. Like that was something I didn't like realize like back then. But then after learning the games, like, oh, yeah, I can work sort of to how it makes things easier for myself. But yeah, it's a good thing to have though, to be like, you know, always willing to help and with clients and that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But yeah, obviously you try to just be mindful of those certain things, eh?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just want to run off the back end of what you're just saying, because see, like with business, and this is what I've learned a little bit later on, after I was shooting for weddings. I learned that for myself, that business sometimes you have to, and I say this in the most nicest way I can, sometimes you have to cut off the emotion, if that makes sense, for the business side of stuff, right? Yeah. Because it can get in the way of you, couple of things, reaching your full potential, but also getting paid your amount, if that makes sense, you know? Because like what you said in the beginning, like you start off with a rate and then you just raise, like, you know, you go up and up and up. You'll notice as well, the more your prices go up, the less people that come your way. But there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Like for me, the way I looked at it is, as my prices went up and I started to not have as much weddings as I would like to have, I mentally I was happy with it, because I thought to myself, you know, this is my worth. I got to stay true to myself, right? And if I didn't get to shoot, I had to accept the fact that, like, you know, it's fine. Like, you know, those people will go to who their budget can suit, and go with that, you know. So I had to accept that, and I think that that's sometimes can be. I think it depends on the situation, because I can't speak for everybody, but I think like that can hold people back from, you know what I mean? Like it can hold people back from growing. If they allow their emotion to be like, okay, I'm gonna bring my price back down. You know, like, but like I said, there's a lot of different situations to it. Like I can't say this is how you do it, but I would say, like, you know, for example, a situation that it might not work properly for, what I've just talking about is maybe someone needs the money. So then, you got to try and make it work somehow for you. But in, let's just say the cases, you know, you're happy with where you are, you're financially all good. So remain where you believe you should be. You know what 100%. I mean?
Yeah, in my experience, like I feel like I would have had a like slightly different experience. Like as I put my prices up, like at the beginning, when I don't really understand business, it was like I was scared to put my prices up. But I think after a while, because like I shared with you, like off camera, you'll have experiences where there's people that rip you off, like they wouldn't spend, like, you know, they wouldn't pay the full price, but then they'll expect the full price thing, like, or they'll expect more than the full price, and true, it's just like true. You know, when you deal with a lot of when you deal with those headaches, you know, I feel like you get to a point where I'm just like, I'm happy if people say no. So that's when I'll just be like, you know what, I'll jump from like a 1,200 to like 2,500 or something. Because I was like, I don't care if people say no anymore, because I'm just like, you start to value your own time. Because there was one time I was working a 12-hour day job, Monday to Friday, 12 hours, and then like 8 hours on Saturday, like that I would do. And then obviously the weeks that I would have a wedding on, I wouldn't work the Saturday, but I'd go and film 14 hours. But I got to a point where I'm just like, I'm happy if they'll say no. And it's funny, you put the prices up, and I thought people would be like, oh nah, bro, people were saying yes. And then like, bro, and then that's when I put it up even more, because like I was like, I'm alright if I do a wedding this weekend, you know, but yeah, like I think that's that's something that like you'll eventually learn as you go throughout like your business, like video business. If anyone you know is going to get into it, but like you'll start to really value your time and know exactly what it is that you actually want to do. You know, like how you say, like you're not doing weddings anymore, like you're doing this, man. That's awesome. You know.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you brought up. I think in that case there, because you've shown people, you know, when you have people that follow you along, and then like they love your quality, they love like the way you piece weddings together. So that makes sense. When you shift up your cost and they still say yes to it, it's because they're coming because they love your work, right? And I think that's the beautiful thing. I understand that now. If we backtrack to that time when I told my wife, like, you know, there's way better people out there, you know, then what am I gonna do, right? That's me not knowing what I could potentially bring to the game, right? Like I didn't know that back then. Whereas now, like I understand. I'm like, dang, you could put like, let's say 4 people in the same room who are wedding videographers, right? You can put 4 of us in the room, give us 4 all the same footage, and I promise you're not going to get the same clip. You know what I mean?
True.
I've learned that now. That's why I'm like, dang, there's a place for everybody in the game, right? Because you're going to start off, you obviously don't know your look. You don't know the style that's going to be yours. So I know for me, copy people, you know, I like that shot. We all go through that phase, but what that phase will eventually do is that it molds us to our actual look, because then you're gonna take little bits and pieces from people, but you're gonna flip it and make it your own, and then the way you push out that clip, that's your clip, you know, and then the way you're gonna push out, like the way I push out mine is gonna be my clip. So I understand that now. So that's why when I do talk with people, I really encourage them, and this is just my point of view, and you might agree. I always encourage them to jump on weddings. I do. I do. And there's a reason why I do it, right? The reason why I encourage people to jump onto weddings is because I feel it's like a pressure cooker. Like when you go into weddings, you learn things. If you learn if you're that type of person where pressure helps you learn faster and you get better quicker, I believe like that's the lane. Go 100%. In there, like the money is good. You're gonna upgrade and get better stuff faster. But you're learning like it elevates. Like I can speak on myself, but every wedding, you know, I got better and better because I remembered what mistakes I made on the last one, or I would know a look that I feel was better for this one, and I want to try it on this one. And you just go bounce like that, right?
That's it.
You know, would that be the same for you?
I 100% agree. I couldn't agree more, man. If anyone was like wanting to jump in the game, like obviously like practice first, but weddings is where you wanna, because it'll just set you right off. Like you'll learn everything you need to about filming, even about yourself, like how you work under pressure.
100,
like man, like
100%.
you know, you'll learn about like what exactly you want to do, like with the filming that and the skills that you'll get. But yeah, bro, I love that, man. Yeah, because
there's so much involved in weddings, right? Besides filming, we learn how to speak with the clients. You know, so if you're a person that's what do you call it? If you're a person that struggles to communicate, weddings will force you to be better at it.
That's
because
right.
You have to. You know?
100%.
You have to talk with the person. And like it ties in with what you said. Like your weddings will help you, you know, learn about yourself. That will be your learning aspect, you know.
So true.
Which is like different besides everything we do. The communication of your level of communication elevates as well, right? Cameras. Then also audio, you know, then lights. There's so much to the wedding spinet, you know, course, like, but like what you said, like from there, it can in some way just kind of push you into where you kind of feel you should go, like 100%. That direction, right? 100%. Like weddings got me to this point, and I'm like, oh, I actually love this, like to talk and communicate with people, because I find that that's one of the highlights that one of the strengths I have. It's like I love to engage and talk with people, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe the weddings might push somebody else and be like, they might just love to film in general. Maybe I might take a guy from there and make him the man at audio, like Dion.
Oh, Dion. Shout out Dion.
Like Dion.
Oh man, that's still crack up, bro.
But you see, like the wedding lane is, I believe it's such a blessing.
Yo,
you know, it's such 100%. A blessing. But yeah, that lane is just like anything else. If you go into it and you make mistakes, that's fine, man. That comes with it, right? That comes with it.
So true.
Not imagine, but also think about like, because weddings is such a go lane, right?
Yeah.
Bro, if you get asked to do a run and gun, you've already done weddings, so you know what run and gun is like, man.
That's easy to you now.
Yeah, that's on your backpack.
Second nature to you now. If you do weddings, man,
you know,
straight up.
If you get hit up like from someone, oh man, I want to do a film tomorrow. Bro, all good.
Easy.
You already know.
So
like
true.
Nothing, in my opinion, comes close to weddings day, because it's such a long block, and it's just like once it goes off, like I think you understand, once you do the pre-shoots of them getting ready, you kind of have a little break, because you're gonna go drive to the ceremony. Once the ceremony kicks off, that's when it rolls, right? Because you're a ceremony, bridal shoot, reception, like it just bounces from there. So if you can handle that part of a wedding day, man, run and gun is piece of cake for you.
Hard out.
Run and gun is easy,
true, man.
And it causes you to think so much on your feet. Weddings, like even little things. When you go out and it's really sunny, already you're like looking around and be like, okay, like this is not good for my camera, but where can I take them?
Yo,
you know what I mean? Like it really pushes, like the creativity
so
aspect of it is massive, bro.
So true, bro. Oh, mate. Yeah, but like I think, like for myself, sort of like, cause you know how you shared how you sort of come from weddings, transitioning to like podcast type stuff. For myself, like I didn't completely stop filming. Like I still do like work with my siblings, doing music projects and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'll do videos for them, videos for myself. But what I've been trying to dive deep, and this we spoke about just briefly off camera, like we're talking how you're talking about how people film on their phones and stuff.
Yeah.
But like one of the big things that I started to try and learn about is how to, like I wanted to try and get into projects where I still film, but I get a lot more like sort of in return back, like like income and stuff. I knew it was possible. I just had to do research and stuff. But that's how I came across like e-commerce and stuff. Like so e-commerce, it's just pretty much selling online. Drop shipping as well is what they call it. But bro, and you for this and the kind of money you get in that, you don't need this.
Really true.
You just this, bro.
Yeah,
and they get like bank, bro. So it's funny how you were saying before about how like, you know, like we're trying to help people who, like sort of like if they don't want to be filming their phone anymore, to try and film on cameras. But like it just depends on obviously like what direction you want to go with your creativity, or like, you know, what field you want to step into. But yeah, when I learned about this e-commerce and stuff, like bro, like they're making bank off just your phone. Like you don't need like mad setup. Obviously, you know, like the world of TikTok and stuff. Look at the views they get. Like billions of views of just people like just on their phone. So that's when the game sort of changes. It's not about trying to make things look cinematic or look professional. It's about the actual story that's being told, or however you're presenting like an idea or whatever on on your video, on your video and stuff. But yeah, like that's the whole game that I've been like I still keep my like, you know, my skills, filming skills, like, you know, like sort of hold it sort of important to me. But but that's the other game I've been trying to learn trying to learn. Okay, so like how do they make this work?
With
just a phone, bro. Like,
true.
It was just interesting though. Like when hearing you say before, but that's where I'm at now. You know,
nice.
I still do like shoots with my camera gear and stuff. But that's the new game that I'm trying to sort of learn and stuff. As well.
I like how you said when you start thinking and on questions like, how can I make this work for me, whatever it is, because that's very relatable to like back when you're shooting weddings. You would have shot a particular wedding and then you might have went home and then you got all these things running in your head to how to shortcut it for yourself, right? And I think that's how, like, at some point, if you're creative, at some point you're gonna start thinking like that, like, how do I make this faster for me, or how do I make this better for me? See, and this is something I've learned for myself, but I've started playing with the colors inside the camera, because that was one of the things that I wanted to do for myself. I was like, I'm sure if I play around with the the colors in the camera, I can get a look that I'm happy with. So when I pull it up, to edit it,
just
quick, man, just go in there and just chop them up. Because I've set the the colors in there. Obviously the colors in the Sony is a bit different from the Canons. I love the Canon colors, you know what I mean, and you would understand for your transition.
Bro.
But for me, it doesn't mean like I can try and bring my colors to something that looks beautiful to me. And I've did it because of that thought process. Because of that thought process, I'm like, okay, how do I make this better for me? Because sometimes just dealing with the colors is like a massive headache.
True.
You know what I mean?
So true.
And from weddings, when we go from inside to outside to, the colors shifting,
100.
That was one of my biggest headaches, because I didn't understand how much lighting affected, my camera. I didn't know that back then, right? Like, but you learn, right? Or is there like a particular experience that you remember that you were just like,
dang,
they really tested you? Sorry to pull it all the way back.
You're right.
I'm just curious.
Man, I think the only thing that comes to my mind is like that I really want to share about it. It's just like when you get into like filming and you're learning a lot of things about like lighting or colors and stuff on the camera. Like, I think, and this is when you're looking at trying to be successful in the business. It's just know that you have to learn the business game as well. So that's why that's the only thing that made me think that way of like, how can I make this better? Is because that's what businesses all try to do. It's like they always look at how things are done and try to make the process easier or faster and stuff. So that's sort of just the advice like for anyone getting into the film game, is that it's just know that learning the business will be very beneficial for you too, like
big time. Big time. That's a really good advice. Good tip that you just gave then for everybody, because you've been through that stage. So you then want to emphasize that part of your experience,
100%,
to people to make sure they nail it. And goes hand in hand, because not discrediting like our upbringing and that, but we didn't really get taught how to run a business.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I love my parents, I love my mom and dad, and if there's anything that I take away from them, especially my dad, it's how to work hard. Like, that's one attribute that I have with him that's very very close to my heart. Is like, I know how to hustle, how to work hard, but the flip of that is like, how do you also make sure that when you're working hard you get full benefit, what I mean, for yourself, because everything right now has a cost, so that's where the gray area is. It's like, okay, the business side, like, how do we do this? One thing that I find that really, really helps, and like, again, it's such a benefit to this generation, podcasters,
True.
Like, the amount of information that's out there, from people who run businesses, who are acing it in their lanes. Even on YouTube, you can jump on YouTube and just type in there, like, how to make 6 figures from videographer. You've got like a whole a whole line of people just sharing their experiences.
So true.
Whereas back then, you would struggle to find that type of information just to give you, 3 steps ahead, or help you even be aware of okay, if I come to that situation, then I might try this. Because that's what you did for me. When I came and I was talking to you about weddings all those years back, and you're telling me, of your experience, you were pretty much setting that for me without even realizing. So for me, I was like, you might have not thought too much of it, but to me, I would say you were my first mentor back then.
Man,
yeah, you really set it up for me.
True.
But I then realized it wasn't just me. You also helped Parker as well.
Wow,
Parker Films,
yeah.
So when I had a chat with that guy, man, he had so much good things to say about you.
Wow.
So did I. So me and him, we could relate in that way, because you were the one that gave us your experiences to me and him, and we're just like, you know what? If Mike didn't tell us that, or help us in that way to be aware of these things, we would not know, if we were in that situation, we wouldn't know what to do.
Dang.
Such a small advice. And I think, you're sitting here, you're just like, oh, what did I say? what did I say back then? But,
damn, bro.
I now that I think about it, I think there's a lot of things that you said back then. I can't remember certain things, but you really did open my eyes a little bit.
Wow.
That when I went to weddings, I was prepared.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like that there, it was meant to be. I think it was meant to be for you to come into this creative space all the way back then, because you didn't know that a line of Polynesians are gonna follow after.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100.
You being the first back then, you don't know the impact it will have on people years down. If you didn't decide to lean into looking into videography more.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? If you just stuck to that music thing with your family, that's all good. I'm sure you would have blessed them in that way as well. But I think because the fact that you didn't just bless your families, you blessed others from the area. That's even better, man. You blessed us from Ipswich.
Represent that.
Yeah, see? So that I just wanted to make sure that and put that piece of information out there, because that's such an important thing, I think, not just for you, but it's just to show everyone the effect you had on me. And then this is something I can also give to others as well.
Man, that's
my
great.
Experiences and things that I went through.
Dang.
So
I'm glad, bro. I'm buzzing out, but I'm glad.
I know,
we're able to help. Man, it's cool that we're doing this, to help everybody else.
Yeah.
I think an important thing, I don't want to sound negative towards our people, but our Polynesian people, sometimes we don't believe we can do great things.
Yeah.
Obviously outside of the sports.
Yeah.
The field of sports and stuff, we already dominate there, but anywhere else, bro. And that's what, I was happy. When you sent through your message, and even linking up with Parker, bro, and just to see that our own people are getting into it. That's why I was more than happy, bro, to share what I know. But I think that's sort of my hope for our people, that we just believe in ourselves and don't doubt, sort of thing. Just if there's something, bro, we can do big things. Just get in there and do it. Anything, any field. Yeah.
100%. And I think we all, I know everyone has an idea. We all have an idea, right?
Yeah.
To start it is the problem.
Yeah.
To take that first step, that's a big step for us. Especially because I feel, and this is just my experience, I feel like some of us get that word humble a bit mixed up.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I know what you mean.
We get told, be humble. Sometimes the way we take that, it means be humble means just be happy with what we have, and maybe not try something new.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
100.
But humble can also mean bro, take that step.
Yeah.
Take that step, and like along the way, because humility is it's an attribute that I believe, you know, like it's something that I feel it's taught to you, and you can carry it with you if you were brought up in that way, you know. But I think it can be a little bit misunderstood as well,
100.
you know.
So true.
I can easily relate that word to you, man. Like, you are such a humble person, but man, you've elevated.
Yo, yeah, you know,
man,
like, I appreciate.
You've elevated so much, you know. And I know that this year, for me to give you your flowers, like, it shows you and it reminds you that like what you did for us way back then, we didn't forget it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I love that,
it's such a nice feeling when you hear something from somebody years down the track. You know, whether it was something so small, a piece of advice, or a big piece of advice, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But to hear it back, like years later, like it's refreshing again.
100.
And it's something like me and Parker, we were talking about it. We're just like, you know, sometimes people move on. Sometimes people get the help from somebody, and they move on, and then he feels like they forget about you. Everyone has different experiences, but for me, I feel like if people move on, and I wouldn't say, this is me personally, I wouldn't say that they necessarily fully forget about you. Yeah. Because I think at some point in their lives, if we cross paths again, they'll remember. You know, that's just my experience. You know, I'm just saying that, but each to their own, because everyone is very different. Yeah. But I think when you're helping somebody, true service, if you're really serving somebody, you should do it without any expectation.
100.
You know what I mean? Just give and give with your heart and be happy with that.
So true.
You know?
Like, I have, like, that was one of the big things that I learned. Man, I didn't even think I was going to share this, but like, that's really important, I think, you know, because anyone stepping into this game, I know everyone needs videographers. People are going to hit you up.
Yeah,
you know?
big time.
You know, people are going to hit you
100%.
up. And just don't expect, like, you know, especially our people, like, because, you know, one thing I'm so glad of, that I'll just share here now is, you know, Lisi. Yeah. So he's a fine example of, like, one thing I'm so proud of our people, because he hit me up, and, you know, I was already past the thing of being scared to raise prices. I was past the thing of trying to do weddings and stuff. Like, I was already, like, learning about business and stuff, and one of the things about business is, like, whenever an opportunity comes up that, you know, would be, like, sort of like that you just take, and because I didn't charge Lisi, I didn't charge him or anything, but he hit me up, but I saw potential. I was already following him, like, rapping and stuff on Instagram, and so I was just like, he hit me up, and then I was just like, easy, done, you know. And then he tried to be like, so how much, and I was like, no, it's all right, I got you, bro, like, you know. And it was the same thing for his next, like, you know, a few clips that, you know, and like,
because you did a few. I think you did a few for me.
A few for him, and the other boys too. And I'm just so happy to see where they're at now. Yeah, you know, like, and this is what I mean about our people. It's like, bro, we can do big things. You know, just don't doubt. Don't doubt, bro. Like, I think even Lisi didn't believe that he was gonna. I knew after Say Less, the first one, I was like, Solly, you're up there, you know.
You're off now,
bro,
man.
And it was funny, like, because we met up at Good and Hungry Jack's, and we're chatting there about the clip, or how we're gonna shoot it and stuff. And I told Lisi, I was like, Solly, watch out for Carlin Leota. Bro, I told him, like, you're gonna work with him. Trust me, you know. And what do you know? Bro? Before Say Less, you know, before Say Less, and what do you see? Like, bro, he's working. He's working. And I was just like, I just knew, like,
you could see, right?
I could see
because you were following along too. With his Instagram. You know, you might have realized, like, as he's getting better, you're like, man, this guy is done, man. You know, and you're just watching his Instagram, right?
100. I was so proud, like, and I loved the opportunity because, you know, when 1-4 popped off in Sydney and stuff, I was like, everyone was like, yeah, 1-4, 1-4.
Yeah.
And I thought the school was like, yo, our people are going off. You know, then I see someone from the area, like, rapping about the 4-3. I was just like, so like, who's this guy, bro? I was like, bro. And then I was just shocked. And when he hit me up, I was like, gee, say less.
Oh, nice,
bro.
man.
Yeah. And then I was like, wow.
That's so good.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, just you know, wow, how people can do heaps, bro. Just gotta like just believe in it, you know.
Yeah. Man, if we I just want to touch on it a little bit. You've been in Ipswich for long, eh?
Yo, yeah. Grew up here.
Were you born here? Or you?
No, I was born in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then raised here. Moved over like when I was real young. I was about 6 years old when we moved over, but like straight to Riverview,
right?
Like Ipswich, and just grew up here.
You know, right here.
Yeah, so all I know. Like I have very, very little memory of New Zealand,
of home. Yeah.
But to me, like I take pride on like where I was born and stuff, but I take a lot of pride on like being raised up here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You have all your memories here, pretty much. If I was to be more specific, all your core memories. Are here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, I think that's one thing I kind of picked up off you as well is you're very supportive of the area, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
bro. Yeah.
Your
true.
heart is here. Like it really is an Ipswich.
Yeah.
But I'm when I say this with in regards to everyone else as well, because there's a lot of other people here in Ipswich that also have a lot of pride for this area. You know what I mean? And you can, they don't have to say it, you can just see it. You know? And for you, I could just see it in your videos. Like, I remember when I watched that Say Less video. And I like I was just like, man, you just jumped right on it. Like, this is a guy, like you said, from our area, and you were there to support him, like, right off the bat.
Yeah, 100.
You know? But that's just one thing. I'm sure there's other things within the area that you've supported along the way, you know, or been involved in. If not, you know of. You know, that's news can shift quite fast around in Ipswich. But I love how I love all the talent that's come out from this area too.
Yeah. We have a lot of talent, man.
A lot of talent, eh?
A lot of talent, bro. Yeah.
And it's so good to see, because sometimes, let's just say use Lissy for an example, right? This is someone who's popping off in music, okay? Just because he's popping off in that area, it can inspire someone, another Polynesian, maybe not for music, but to start their own business, you know?
Yeah.
It can inspire others to be like, oh, you know, I want to give her videography a go. I want to give this. It just takes a person to like all of a sudden push out new energy, you know, and then everyone like just wants to give their idea a go, you know. I think this time that we live in right now, like, it's such a good time to be alive, especially for
100.
our Polynesian people, man.
Yeah.
It's so good to see, you know.
Yeah.
But I love the support that we have out here too.
Yeah, 100.
There's heaps of support like around. I remember when I met Parker years ago.
Yeah.
Man, till this day, like, we still talk the same way that we talk to each other, like when we met each other years back.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel no grief. I don't feel any jealousy or any
of course.
you know, like that type of stuff. I don't feel that from him, you know, but I'm just saying this in general, like, and I think it comes down to a few things, maybe the way they are brought up, but also your personality and your character. You know what I mean? You have a beautiful personality, man, and a character to yourself. Myself, Parker, I believe, like, you know, those type of people, when you're around them, man, they really can bring out the best in other people. You know?
100.
Whether it be in a little way or a big way, you're not sure, right? But in some way, you gave them a good impact.
Man, that's mad. Like, you sort of like bring back a lot of memories. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, in my experience growing up, you'll have people that use and abuse you,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
like like
sure.
especially if like because me and my siblings were like we were really into our individual crafts, making music. Heaps of people hitting up my brothers to, oh yeah, can we make us, can we do a song and stuff? And it's like, oh yeah, sweet, come over. You know, and I remember like, bro, my dad would get us up and like, bro, who the heck is this you're bringing to my house, bro? Like, and we're just like, oh, sorry, he wanted help with a song. And he's like, don't worry, he's from the area. But it's just like, but that was us. We were just happy to help anyone and everyone. It's a good thing to have, but just going back to the thing we said before, like, you know, don't expect anything back. But like, I think when I hear experiences like your experience and Paco, man, it just it makes me forget all of the like people that like say have wronged me or whatever in the past. True. Like I just like it, to me it makes up for everything. I'm just like, I'm so grateful, you know, like to hear the experience, like, and that was my goal in the beginning, you know. I want to share that, you know, like positivity with everyone, because bro, we deserve it, man, our people, you know. Yeah, man.
That's good. I'm happy I brought you on.
Yo, yeah, of course.
So we can talk
Thank
about
you for having me, bro.
Because I know, like I said in the beginning, like, man, you are one of the originals in my eyes. In my eyes, you're one of the originals in this creative like game. But then now that you've shared your actual story, everyone now can see and understand like the like, you know, the history that you're through.
True, yeah.
You know, glide cams.
Cool. Damn, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Windows Movie Maker, bro. Remember all of it, man.
But I think man, that's pretty much it that I have on my end. Like, was there, before we wrap it up, is there anything extra that you wanted to add on, or?
Nah, just thank my toko ua here for having me on. I appreciate the love. Shout out to everybody who we spoke about today.
Yeah.
And subscribe to my toko right here. There's a lot more coming, man.
Thank you. But once again, thank you, man. Thank you for dropping on. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, everyone, this is Fidatrix, Michael Utai. You're on your social medias. You're on mainly on Instagram, or you're on a bit of both.
Yeah, Instagram
and
YouTube.
Facebook. Fidatrix on YouTube as well. Yeah. All right. So if you want to ever get inspired, jump on, check them out. And if you have any questions in general, about creativity or even like music, whatever it is, man, send it through. I'm sure this guy will love to help you just as much as he helped me.
Appreciate Toko.
That's us.
Okay, that's us.